is Wednesday, March 9th, 2022. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It is a Wednesday puzzle, so another themed puzzle, and perhaps a touch more difficult than Monday and Tuesdays, we'll have to see. This edition of the Daily Solve has been brought to you by Jake Rodkin, Jordan Larson, and as always, the inestimable Hood Monster. So thank you so much to the three of them, benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign. Very much appreciate that direct support. And if you'd like to join their ranks as benefactors, you can find that at patreon.com/dailysolve. And at that tier, you get the Daily Solve Let's Check the Crosses mug, as well as this recognition on the video. But at any tier, you get access to all of the videos that have gone up to date on the all the bonus solves that I've published, including the Boss Words Spring Themeless League puzzles. I just last night solved the puzzle number 1 from the Spring Themeless League. It was very difficult, but I did improve my time. Sadly, that came at the cost of one cell. I had one incorrect cell, which was quite crushing since I usually get those correct, even though my times aren't always the best. Anyway, that will go up later this week once the solution has been released, so as not to create spoilers. And of course, if you back the Patreon campaign at any level, you also get access to an extra channel on the Daily Solve Discord chat server, the rest of which is free for anybody to join. Links in the description field underneath the video. All right, so all of that said, let's solve today's puzzle. This is a Wednesday puzzle, as I said, by Peter Gordon, an extremely experienced New York Times crossword constructor. I think well over 100 crosswords constructed for the New York Times alone. And it was edited, as always, by Will Shorts. So let's get started. Okay, I still don't know why two different computers have two different start screens. That's so strange. Anyway, an Italian sauce with meat and tomatoes. Is it a ragu? Does that fit in here? What is this? Sorry for that long pause. Hats, so to speak. Siri is to Apple as something is to Amazon. Oh, what's Amazon's robot assistant called? Amazon. Oh, Alexa. That's right. Alexa. Seat of Pennsylvania's Adams County. So this will be a city, of course. I'm not sure. Losing team in the Miracle on Ice hockey game. Was it the USSR? Maybe this is ragu. Cheers for banderilleros. Olés, presumably. Banderilleros. I'm not... Spanish, not so good. You and I should eat that. And this is in italics. That makes me think this is a theme clue of some kind. You and I should eat that. So what makes... Yeah, I don't know what... Obviously, I don't know what the theme is here. So I'm not quite sure what makes this special. What about this? Force out. Express? You could express something through holes or something like that. Hats, so to speak. And utter. Could be to say, to utter a statement, to say it. What about this? Oh, right. Seat of Pennsylvania's Adams County. Gettysburg? No. Oh, wait. No, that fits. So if that's ragu, hats, so to speak. Oh, I see. Roles. If you wear several hats, you are inhabiting several roles. I see. That makes sense. Force out. Oh, extrude. That makes more sense. You could extrude pasta through holes to make the various pasta shapes. Here's another theme clue. Kid at a college bar who seems, to me as a bouncer, too young to allow in. This is a very over-elaborated clue, and it makes me think that there's some sort of wordplay that that's being manipulated with all of this excess language. Let's see. What do we have? Let's go back up to the top. Person seeking damages could be a suer. Does that work? Someone who sues. Harsh. Severe, perhaps. Shoshonean language could be Ute. So this is in the northwest. Oh, what is that area? Is that North Wyoming area? Is that northwest, midwest? I suppose Midwest. Martial artist / actor who played the Emperor of China in 2020's Mulan. I'm assuming Jet Li based on the crosses here. And if one is affected by ennui, you could say you're jaded. Things don't thrill you anymore. Right. You and I should eat that. Let's have it. I see. So perhaps the theme is... So let's have it. So, I mean, let's have it it's a general phrase that's used to mean, all right, show me what it is that you've been hiding or whatever. But you and I should eat that maybe is the sort of more literal interpretation. Am I missing something about this? Director Kazan, Elia Kazan, Little Dabisco crackers. Ritz Bits sort of rings a bell. Now what is this? Flowering plants associated with the Augusta National Golf Course. Azaleas, presumably. I don't know anything about the Augusta National Golf Course, but that's with this cross. There aren't very many other options, I don't think. Member of a support staff could be an aide. A dating app description could be a biography. Bag brand could be Ziploc bag. Ziploc, the zipper freezer bags. Letter that's only 25% of the way through the Greek alphabet, surprisingly. Presumably this is zeta. Surprising because it seems as though it should be at the end of the alphabet based on the Roman alphabet. Mother of Beyonce and Solange Knowles. Oh, I don't know. Tina, maybe? Great Lakes Port could be Erie. Requests could be asks. Good name for an ophthalmologist. An iris, referring to part of an eye. So, bespeaking her job, her hat, her role, so to speak. Salmon, e.g., it's a pink color. The Financial Times newspaper is often referred to as salmon-colored. It has an unusual pink paper color, as opposed to the standard newsprint light gray. What about this? Actress Gar, Terry Gar. I recognize that name. Impart as values. You could instill values into somebody. So here's another one of these theme clues. Kid at a college bar seems to me as a bouncer too young to allow in. Card. There could be ID card. Here, that seems relevant, right? Student. Oh. Wait, okay, I think I see what's going on with this one. So this is actually very clever. So this is a student ID card. Playing on student ID card. So if we added an apostrophe into the ID, we move from the phrase student ID card to student ID card. Now, how does that work here? Let's have it. Let shave it? I don't understand. You and I. Is it a homophone for let's have it, as in let's halve, divide in half? Let's half it? I don't think so. What am I missing? Not quite sure. Sorry. What about this? Jeopardy, impossibility. Jeopardy, impossibility. So this is spelled, well, not spelled, this is formatted with that exclamation point, like the name of the quiz program, not the concept of Jeopardy more broadly. So what is impossible? Oh, a tie. That must be the case. They must not allow ties in Jeopardy. Fair enough. And what was this? Place is a site. Okay, that works. Here we have bill worth billions. Oh, Gates. Oh, so Ritzbits must not be spelled with an S. So that makes sense. And bill worth billions is Gates. Yes, okay. That's why I changed that letter. Great. Last word of the Pledge of Allegiance. Why can't I think of this instantly? Oh, sorry. I was thinking of the Star Spangled Banner. All. Sorry. Liberty and justice for all. There's a bit of a moment there. I'm so curious about this. Let's have it. Sorry, I've been very distracted by thinking about it. I can't. I didn't look at this answer ever. Like most Rwandans and Burundians, that would be Hutus. So could have gotten that one earlier, but didn't happen to see it. But that doesn't help. I was hoping maybe this would be incorrect, but I'm sure this is Hutus. Are the rest of them correct? Hats, so to speak, rolls. Alexa, Amazon, Gettysburg. I mean, this seems right. USSR, that seems right. Jaded, severe. Ute, pretty sure. Yeah, this all looks correct. Oh, I see. The thing I wasn't right. Okay, I don't think this one is quite as good as student ID card, student ID card, but the original phrase is "let's have it," as in he lets him have it, right? As in gives him a piece of his mind, that sort of thing, without the apostrophe, and then we add in the apostrophe to mean let us two have it. Okay, so I was interpreting both versions of the phrase to have the apostrophe, and I didn't think hard enough about what it would be without the apostrophe. Okay, that's a little bit iffy, I think, because let's have it with the apostrophe, I think, already is sort of its own phrase, whereas student ID card is not. So we really do need to insert the apostrophe to transform the meaning. All right, but at least I understand what's gone on, so I can move on and stop being distracted by that answer. Dodgers might not pay it. A tax dodger, I suppose. Essential point could be the crux of an argument. Palestinian president starting in 2005, Abbas. Talk big is to brag. High point is an acme. And this looks like mar. Yes, to spoil something is to mar it. Here we have Easter item that the woman is going to decorate. Eggshell. And this presumably will be eggshell paint or something like that. Eggshell paint. Is that a phrase? Eggshell paint? Not sure yet. Dog breed whose coat resembles dreadlocks. Oh, right. I know the kind of dog this is visually, but I don't think I know the breed. Cool in old slang. Could be fat. And tell me if you recognize me from just my voice and the feel of my hands over your eyes. So this reads like one of the theme clues, but it's not italicized, so presumably it's not. Anyway, it's just the phrase, guess who? Tell me if you recognize me from just my voice and the feel of my hands over your eyes. That's an incredibly, again, highly written clue. Here we have more in Mexico. Moss. Photocopy flaw could be a smudge. Risk territory bordering Siberia. The game of Risk. This came up a few weeks ago. Maybe I've only played Risk once or twice in my life. I'm not sure. Although you'd think I could infer that without needing knowledge of Risk in particular. Just geography. Anyway, desert-like could be arid. Sharp twist as in a hose could be a kink. Sure-footed pack animals. will end in an S. For Pete's sake, number that's often in Italian. Oh, a number as in a song. So an aria in an opera might be performed in Italian if the opera was an Italian opera. It's worth 0 in Baccarat. Oh, I don't know anything about Baccarat, but it must be the king because Baccarat is a card game. And sure-footed pack animals are yaks. Oh, Yakutsk is the Risk territory bordering Siberia. Fair enough. Okay. Because I didn't know that Yakutsk was in Risk. To remain fresh is to keep. Oh, and here's another theme clue. What the couple dressed in lupine costumes said. So, lupine. Something wolf-related? Oh, I see. We're wolves. That's very clever. See, this one's clever as well. Student ID card and we're wolves is pretty good, I think. Student ID card and we're wolves. Tattletale is a rat. If one stops waffling, one opts, one makes a choice. If one gets wind of something, one hears it. Waiters at busy restaurants might be handed them. Pagers? I'm not sure. Is that a thing? Sponsored boys at baptisms. I'm not sure. And declares openly could be avows. To botch could be to misdo, maybe? It's not a very common word. Short John. So maybe it is, though. So Short John. So John's there's a question mark indicating some pun or wordplay. So a John, in this case, being slang term for a toilet, and then similarly, lavatory. And if we're making lavatory short, we're abbreviating it, turning it into lav. And then because this is plural, Johns, it's lavs rather than lavs. So that's what's going on there. That's kind of a cryptic clue in a way. This is starting to look like eggshell paint, isn't it? And botch, yeah, it does look like misdo. And then haven't looked up here yet, I don't think. Calendar box. Day, I suppose. Bataking needs. Oh, right. This is a form of dye. I'm sure I pronounced that awfully. Batiking? I'm not sure. Sorry. Always embarrassing. Speak hysterically is to rant or rave. It could be either of those. What about this? XXX film. An adult movie, presumably? And here, when most Geminis are born. Well, I wouldn't have known this without the crosses, but it must be June. Middle Brady family daughter. Oh, Jan? So I suppose this is eggshell paint. So eggshell paint and eggshell paint. There we go. Drinks at soda shops are malts, malteds, they sometimes call them as well. Speak hysterically is to rant. And like helium. Helium is light. Nowhere to be found informally. Could be MIA, missing in action. So the informally meaning we've abbreviated it in some form to MIA. Oh, sure-footed pack animals. Look at that. We had 2 of those actually in consecutive clues. So we had yaks and here asses. That's pretty good. A whole bunch could be a slew. Licks, maybe. Could be wets, as in an envelope. You could wet an envelope, lick it to seal it. Helium is an inert gas. I see. So like helium is inert. And land whose prime minister is known as the Taoiseach, that is Ireland, or Ira in this case. And yes, pronounced Taoiseach. I'm sure I'm not saying that perfectly, but it's better pronunciation than some of my others in this crossword, at least. Sponsored boys at baptisms are godsons, and waiters at busy restaurants might indeed be handed pagers, after all. So there we have it. So I think this was a pretty good theme, but I definitely think 2 of the 4 answers were much stronger than the other 2. I wasn't as enamored of let's have it and let's have it, unless I'm still misinterpreting something about it. But I think it's simply that the sort of non-theme reading of this answer is saying you are going to let somebody have it. And then the theme version is, let us have it. Let us eat that. You and I should eat that. It's just the only thing is they both feel like valid existing phrases to me, so it's a little ambiguous. And then the other, eggshell paint or eggshell paint. This one I think fits the pattern of the other three, I think, better answers, although I'm just not as familiar with the phrase eggshell paint. That's probably my flaw rather than the puzzles, I would say. That probably is something that I'm just less familiar with. But I really, really like student ID card for student ID card and we're wolves for werewolves as an exclamation. We are wolves. Very good. So, yeah, I think a pretty good and clever theme. I wish Let's Have It had struck me in a slightly better way. But what can you do? And that's it for the crossword. I think relatively appropriate for a Wednesday. We had, again, actually, just like yesterday, quite a few proper nouns with Jet Li, Bill Gates, Yakutsk. There were several others. Taoiseach somewhere. Terry Gar, Hutus. Yeah, so quite a few. We've had quite a few of those recently, and that can always make things a little bit more difficult. But I think this was reasonable. Oh, a boss. Reasonable for a Wednesday puzzle. But let me know how you fared. And now let us discuss a few clues from yesterday's puzzle. I don't think there were too many. We had just a few. So, this wasn't really a correction per se, but I guess some additional context on something I mentioned about Arby's. Bradley says, the Arby's backronym that you alluded to, referring to the Arby's restaurant, ARBY', is America's Roast Beef, Yes Sir, which was used in a 1980s ad campaign. The actual restaurant name is a reference to the founders, the Raffle brothers, the RBs. So what's funny about this is I actually don't think I was familiar with America's Roast Beef, Yes Sir. I think I might have simply... Maybe I was. Well, I don't think I'm familiar with it firsthand anyway, but maybe I saw a reference to it and that was what was stuck in my mind. Anyway, thank you, Bradley, for explaining the backronym that I could not bring to mind. Joseph George Blaze, regarding my musings on Opel, I said, oh, is that a GM brand or is it a European car brand? Turns out it was both. As Joseph George Blaze explains, Opel is indeed a European car brand, which was a subsidiary of General Motors until 2017. They're sold under the Vauxhall brand in the UK, although I think the models are the same, driver's side notwithstanding. And finally, Chasmart clarifies, commander is the naval equivalent of a lieutenant. So, thank you. I did not know that, and now I do, and I hope I remember it. We'll have to see next time that sort of thing comes up. All right, and that's that for the Wednesday New York Times crossword. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do pass this along to somebody, and subscribe to the channel if you've not yet done so. That's greatly appreciated as well. And thank you to everybody who's backed the Patreon campaign at any level. There will be a few more things going up this week. That next Boss Words puzzle, I need to put up the March New York Times monthly bonus puzzle, and then of course boy, I can't get my words straight. The Friday speed solve goal up as usual, and I'm also probably a little bit behind putting up a Constructor's Corner compilation solve of puzzles from the community, from the Daily Solve Discord chat server, Constructor's Corner channel. So I always really look forward to that. Need to find some time to do that this week. Anyway, that's it for today. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you'll be back tomorrow for the Thursday puzzle, our tricky theme puzzle, most likely. Always enjoy those. Hope you do as well, and I hope to see you there. But until then, please do have an excellent remainder of your Wednesday. Take care.